Hi Zitin, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Shivam?
I'm good as well. Perfect. So, to everyone who's firstly watching this video, I have known Zitin for far too long. Why? Because we were firstly in the same school, and not just that, she's and even if I want to ignore, I can't ignore her. We're very close by. Also, before just recording the interview, we were just having a small conversation about we going to the main stop to, we used to ride through a bus, and we had this Rita ma'am teacher, our teacher in school. So I just remember that 5, 6, 7, 8 to start once we start recording.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, coming back, so Zitin has been a close friend of mine, and she went to Mumbai for her engineering, and since then she's working in L&T, and it's the technology services domain of L&T, and actually yesterday only, it had been 2 years. It was her work anniversary for the second year. So congratulations, Zitin, for that.
Thank you.
Perfect. This is a small introduction from mine, but now I would like you to give a brief introduction about yourself.
Okay, so hi guys, I am Zitin. And before we start anything, I am the first girl in his show, in his series of Sundays with Safaya, and I am very obliged to be in here. So, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I am Zitin. So, as he told, I'm working for L&T from past 2 years. So, L&T itself is a vast company, as most of us know. It has L&T Constructions, ONGC, LTI, TTS. So I am working with L&T Technology Services. So L&T basically is a service-based industry which provides services to different companies across the globe. So particularly for me, I am working for Danahar. I don't think most of you would know what Danahar actually is. So let me give a brief about it. So Danhar is basically an American organization that includes pretty few companies that basically focuses on environmental solutions, diagnostics, life science. So if I tell you what all these are, so diagnostics, if you see, diagnostics is mostly the medical domain, different medical devices that are used for, diagnosing the things, the maybe diseases or anything, microscope, CT scanners, ECG, anything, all these come into diagnostics. So other than that, life science, maybe life science could be, accessing the specimen. If you're studying around, usually scientists use a life science. If you're studying a specimen or you are anything regarding the life science projects, all these come into life science. So environmental solutions, so maybe Steel Expert is one of the application that currently I am working with. It is basically what we can say, picking out the impurities in a steel. So whenever a steel comes for a manufacturing, before it gets released to the outside world, it is, so what Steel Expert does is it picks up the impurities. So how many sulfates, how many oxides, how many, all these things, so that it is good to use. Basically, that is what the Steel Expert application does. So other than, like, similar to these, there are multiple applications. So in Danhar, the company which I am working is Leica Microsystems. It is a German company that deals with microscopy. It develops microscopes. Sorry, it develops microscopes, and so the application. So every microscope comes with an application. So as I said, there is cleanliness expert, there is steel expert, cleanliness expert. So if I talk about cleanliness expert, it is basically you have syringes, needles that we use in medical domain, or to test the impurities in that. So all these things come in. So Leica Microsystems developed microscopes which study all these things. It could be, these microscopes could be used anywhere, maybe in the science labs, in the school, but the currently applications which I'm working are these. So I'm a software developer. I think you would have judged it by now. So yeah, I'm a software developer in L&T. Yeah.
Perfect.
pretty long brief, I guess.
Thank you so much. No, I think actually it was, even if it was pretty long, people would have been interested to listen because people were already asking, when would be the first girl who would be coming to the. So I think happy that on this conversation that I talk less and you talk more. Because
yeah.
Perfect. So, Zitin, now this was about your introduction. So firstly, because it's all about the referral process and whatever we have, all these questions in interviews. So I'm pretty sure you had multiple rounds for your interview while you were joining TTS. So could you help us with, how was your interview experience during the process? Let's say how many rounds? How was the complete process?
Okay, so specifically to L&T, for which I sat for, is so L&T has an exam round, online examination, if we can say so. So it includes aptitude, maybe verbal, logical, quantitative, all these assessment. It is of 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes or something. So all these things, all the general things, nothing technical, but yeah, all the general things that all quants, maybe they check your mathematical abilities, logical things, and reasoning, all this. So that was the first round which we had. So after that, they shortlist a few candidates. They have a benchmark, and according to their benchmark, they shortlist a few candidates. Then the regular, I think LTTS also has the pretty similar round of interviews like other companies, obviously. So yeah, then we have GD, group discussion. So we had a group discussion. So in that, one thing about group discussion I would like to mention, which I had come across when I was sitting for these interviews and what I like observed in the people. So some people are like very submissive and some people are like they overpower others. So the main thing what interviewers look into the while GD, what they look into the people is, you should neither be very submissive that you do not talk at all, and you should not be very overpowering that you do not let anyone else speak. So you should know where you have to speak and where you should not speak. You should listen to others, and on the same time you should put your point also. That is what I observed and what I learned from all the GDs or whatever interviews I gave. So after GD, we have a technical interview. So I was placed from the campus. So L&T, what it does is it takes on I am from IT background. So mostly it was for IT related subjects. So IT in technical interview, they asked me about my project, what I did and how I implemented it, something about the programming language concept. So more of that on a technical parameter. So after that, so usually L&T, what it does, it hires a bunch of people. Like it is more of like a raw material and they mend it into their respective projects. So L&T is a service based again. So they have like a lot of projects going on parallelly. So usually in product based, what happens is they have one product or two products and they work for that. But in L&T, since it's service based, they have like multiple companies they are providing services to, and accordingly they mend the raw material. I mean us, according to our technical skills or to our assets, and accordingly they put us into different projects. So that was the technical round, and last it was the HR round or personal interview, if you can say. It was the general. They were checking my maybe communication, how I can communicate to people, how I can put my words in front of the team, or all those things, like a general about my personality. So yeah,
just to add, Zitin, what you said on your personality. So so I know you were involved in college activities and all a bit. So those things help you. I mean, I'm sure that those things didn't help you in the technical perspective. But
yeah, of course.
Other than that, were that as a good point, or did you feel like having those things adds value or not?
Yes, of course. So like as much my technical skills were important, maybe not that much, but yeah, it puts a good weight to my resume, having different things. So if I talk about me personally, I had in my college, I was a marketing, like I was in marketing during my college fest and maybe PRs. And so all those things put a bit of weight to your resume. So, okay, from that, they can conclude at least, yeah, she is good with her communication, or maybe she's good with communication. I don't mean English, but
Yeah.
communication I mean is like
In general,
putting
communication.
my words, and communicating with people, putting what I want to speak, putting them like so that the person
Person
in
would
front of me
understand.
understands what I'm trying to speak. And yeah, it of course it does not, like many people have this miscommunication. Communication means misconception,
No,
communication means English. So it is not that. Okay, fine, you're not very good at English, but yeah, you should improve. It is an important part. But yeah, other than that, there are like how you behave, how you convey your thoughts, all these things matter, which they actually pinpoint in your interviews or GDs.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, okay. So my next question is written with regards to, like, while you were being interviewed, I mean, we agree to the fact that
Mm-hmm.
selected and all, but let's say
Mm-hmm.
something that you felt during the interview process that, let's say this was that one thing that I should have known.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have smoothened the complete process, or, I would have been on a better note, on a better scale or something like that, if I had known this or something like that.
Okay. So the major thing which I felt was when I sat for this interview is I didn't, study about the company, what it exactly does, what are the projects, or what companies, like L&T is a service based again, so it has vast this thing. But I should have known like a few, maybe two or three, or maybe I should have studied what technologies they use. So that I think if I would have studied beforehand the interview, it would have been easy for me. Like it would have been gone smooth. So this is the mistake people, like I think many people do, that they do not study about the company. So whatever you're studying, maybe a day before itself, just go through their websites or go through the Wikipedia about that company to just have a basic overview of the company. So that is a good thing to do, which I did not. Yeah.
Perfect. So is it something like when they check your resume, so
Mm-hmm.
sure they do check the marks and all and the complete thing. So having weightage to, so I mean, that's my next question. That is basically with regards to your internships and projects. So
Mm-hmm.
a thought process. I mean, how, like, do the internships and these projects add value to your resume? And if it's like the questions are being asked, has it been sometimes they are specifically project centric questions, or whatever you've studied in the 4 years of engineering, it's towards that end.
Okay. So, like, this is my personal opinion. It might differ from person to person, but yeah, according to me, if you say, yeah, it does matter, but only if it is in your particular field. So, for example, I did an internship. It was more of an electronics background, which which it didn't help me in my interview, because my interview was purely in technical, like IT domain. But the internship I did was a bit of electronics and telecommunication. I don't want to name the company, but yeah. So yeah, so that didn't help me a lot. But yeah, in the interview, they did ask me about my internship or my projects, what I did. So if I would say, if you are interested in that, just for the sake of internship, don't do the internship. Yeah, okay, it will add a weight to my resume. Don't. Only if you're interested in that particular stream or particular company or whatever the domain is, then do it. And also it should be relevant to what you'll do in your future, in after the graduation, if you're going into an IT industry or mechanical industry or whatever industry. So that should be relevant. That time it helps a lot. But if it's like I am studying mechanical and I'm doing an IT internship doesn't make sense. It won't help me anywhere. So yeah,
Perfect. So
that is.
guys, I'll just tell you why Zitin and I both were laughing, because we did the same intern. That one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and he's from the electronics background and I am from IT. So yeah.
so
Okay.
Zitin, now that it's been nearly 2 years in the firm, and now you would be able to shortlist, let's say, some of the resumes that you would
Yeah.
interest. So is there any tip for someone who's trying to apply to LTTS, and something that you would want for someone to have it in their resume while they are submitting those resumes?
Okay.
Tip in tip.
So
Yeah.
yeah, in whenever there's a job opportunity or there's an open role, LTTS on their websites or through off-campus placements, they actually give the description of the role, the experience they want, the role they want. For example, currently I'm working as a C# developer. So C# is another IT programming language. So if they want a C# developer, they'll give out on their websites that we need a C# developer of this experience and he should know. They'll give a required skill set they should know. So what I want from people who are looking for their job is that they should go through each and everything, the job opportunities, not just L&T, any company is offering what is the required skill set. And if they have that, that's pretty good. But yeah, again, my point comes that if you are good at AI and then you are going something for C++, obviously that is not good. Yeah, if you want to have that feel of interview, fine, but I would prefer that just study about the required skill set, what they want, and then just question yourself if you have that or not. And if you have, well and good. And if you are interested, that is the major point which most of the people neglect, if you are interested or not. So yeah, that is the thing.
Perfect. So okay. So my next question is with regards to once we start our fourth year in the engineering, or final year of whatever bachelor's degree that we are doing, and now the final year is the time of placements, and people are very worried about what they should do and what they should not. So you and I both have experienced that feeling. So what are your thoughts on that peer pressure, and on that, would you like to add any things to for people, if they should know or should not do or something like that?
Yeah, so as I said just now, that interest plays a very vital role in all this. So yeah, for me personally also, initially when I was I just sat for maybe a few campus placements, but I didn't get in. But when I sat for L&T, it was mostly the placement starts in our college. The placement starts from 7th semester, but I didn't get into 7th semester into a company. I got it in the 8th semester. That is the last semester. So of course, I had some pressure, or maybe, it's not pressure actually. It is something like that comes from inside. Yeah, okay, my friends got the job, or this one is doing this one is doing
The
this,
society
but I
pressure,
don't
if I
have,
may say.
yeah, the society pressure. So it comes on, that there's a bubble around you and you overthink on yourself itself. So that is the thing. And yeah, that is there, no doubt, that pressure is there. But what I would like to say is, okay, fine, you're not getting a job, but do not get into something that you are not interested in. Whenever you are trying to get into a job, maybe your graduation or maybe after that, fine, there is a gap of 1 year, fine, there's a gap of 6 months. But some people do just for the sake of getting a job. They just, maybe some mechanical person would go into some IT field, or some person would go into somewhere else. And then in the long run, when they look back at their graph, it is like they are completely, unhappy. They are not very confident about what they are doing, and this obviously would reflect in their performance at work.
Correct.
So that, don't just go just because, okay, we do not have job, I do not have job, okay, fine, okay, this is the opportunity I got in, maybe this is something else from what I am interested in. So do not go for that. Okay, fine, there is peer pressure, but take your time and just be focused on what you want. So mostly you should fill out all the opportunities that you get in, but do not do this thing that, focus on a few companies that are in your radar according to your skill sets, according to your interest, all those things. Just do not, you want this thing and you are going for completely opposite thing. So do not do that. So yeah, maybe filter out companies, maybe filter out some job profiles. You want to have a feel of interview, okay, go sit in any interview, just you can have a feel. But if you are actually focusing on something, it would actually help you. And in the long run, if you would look back at yourself, so it would be great. Even I can give an example of like one of my few friends. So they are from different stream, but they are working in IT. So when I talk to them, I mean, of course, I would not want to name them, but yeah, if I talk to them, and they are quite unhappy with what they are doing. Yeah. So this thing happens when you just jump into
without thinking
opportunities that you have, that you do not want. So the prime focus should be, you should filter out according to your radar and according to your point of interest and skill set. Yeah.
Perfect. Actually, thank you so much for that. So I mean, coming now to my last and favorite question. So could you please help
I know this question already.
So actually, while before we were, so I'll tell these guys before we end the video. So before starting the video, actually the first thing is, this video has been shot in one go, which is the first that in one go. And the second point is, she asked me before the interview, has anyone said no to the last question? So I said no. Usually people do say yes on that.
Yeah.
Coming back to the...
That's strictly for, it's a joke, guys.
Yes.
I would, of course, refer you. Don't worry.
Perfect. So yeah, would you please... So I'll be sharing your LinkedIn profile in the description section. So they can definitely text you over LinkedIn if they would want to. And they can also write their question in the comment sections. So I just, would you be willing to help them with the referral if in case you find the profile?
Let me think. I am a bit busy, yeah. Come on. Yeah, just kidding. I would, of course. I would.
Perfect. Oh, I think this is the first fun interview that I had.
Yeah. Actually, I have seen a lot of your interviews and videos, and it's like very professional and very formal. And when he asked me for this, I was like, oh damn, this is like completely different from what I am. I have to be very calm and sophisticated in this interview and tell people about all these things. But yeah, it was fun actually.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being the first woman out there.
Of course.
And yeah, this is our happy neighborhood that we have. So I mean, recognized by now. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Shubham, for having me.